Yo, what up? This is Blest Theory, chopping it up with the Guillotine CARTEL. Much love. Make sure you go to their YouTube channel, view the videos, and subscribe. There's plenty of other artists, plenty of other fun stuff to watch. So yeah, it really wasn't a big change. I started out with obviously just me and Billy, me and DJ Dyslexican. We became Varsity Jukebox Junkies. I've been a solo artist. I think it's been about, as a hip hopper, I've been a solo artist for about 4 years. And I was kind of out of the picture for a while, which was fine. It was a cool way to kind of learn other arts, other pieces of the craft. It really hasn't changed much. Gifted, who is in Varsity Jukebox Junkies, still makes the majority of my beats. Dyslexican, who's also in that group, makes most of the other ones, and then I get some from other producers, of course, but I still communicate and talk to all those guys on the regular, and pretty soon we're gonna have a little reunion joint coming out for everybody. Should be coming up on my album, Live Technology. It's definitely different. I like having full creative control in terms of how I'm gonna write the song, make the song, but as far as how was it going from a group to a solo artist, the transition was pretty chill, easy. That's that's about it. It's still a work in progress, as most things are, but that's the fun part about music. It's always a work in progress. So, I think it's gotten to a point where a lot of people don't even know I was ever involved in battle rap, and those that do were around at the time. I'm sure my name gets thrown in the pot from time to time from those people that were there that day. But in terms of how it changed since I started, when I was doing it, it used to be all freestyle to a beat, unrehearsed, very, very raw. And there were guys that rehearsed their lines, but you didn't have a pre-planned opponent. So they would just have good punches, good punches that could apply to anybody. The way battle rap is today, you're given time to research in most forms. There's still that form, but it's not as popular. In most forms, you're given a pre-planned opponent. You're able to research them however you can, and with the internet, and you could have an opponent in New York and we're in New Mexico, and you still can find enough beef on them, enough grime to really rip them one, and vice versa. It's a lot more refined nowadays, and I really dig the way the culture has kind of moved. I like the whole idea of a one-on-one grind rather than a tournament format. Now, there can still be tournament formats, but it's over the course of time because you're given time to research each of your opponents. Now, the one thing that didn't change is the 3-round structure, which I think is very important. You always want an odd round structure because you could win round 1 and round 3. He wins round 2. You still get your 2-over-1 decision, whatever you want to call it. In terms of where it's gone, I think it's gotten better, and I think it's only going to get better. And maybe one of these days, you never know, maybe this old dude will come out of retirement. I've never had the chance to research an opponent the way these guys do today. In my day, it was just you go up there and you battle someone. And I was fortunate enough to win in those days. So, you never know. It's a cool thing. I'm glad to see where it's going. I'm glad to see I have friends that are doing that and really striving for greatness in that art. It's a whole new part of the coin, and it's only going to keep getting better. Oh wow. Well, if rapping was a superpower, I don't know. That's a tough question, because everyone wants to say they want to be Batman or Superman, or in the case of Marvel, you want to be in today's world Iron Man or Captain America, maybe even Wolverine. I think I could be the Atom, and I'll tell you this, because I could get small and confined and still hit you where it hurts the most. You get to the point of being so minuscule you could travel through phone lines, you can hit people in the head, you could go into their ear, step on their brain, and everything becomes different. It's a concept that I think would translate to hip hop and lyricism in general. Sometimes you don't need force or sheer will. You just need the precise way to hit someone. And if you can, I think the Atom would be perfect for me. Ray Palmer, that would be me. Anyone else probably would never have that answer, but I guarantee you it'd be Ray Palmer all day. The Atom. It goes back to, in terms of hip hop, when I was a kid, it was that G-Funk era. I was introduced to it by my elder brother, but I also had older brothers that were into Arturo Sandoval and trumpet players, Dizzy Gillespie. So I learned a lot from opposite ends of the spectrum. I started getting into rock with what most people do: Led Zeppelin, Sublime, which was more reggae rock, punk. There's really no limit to what music I've allowed to influence me. Now, you may not see it in all of my music, but it's there. I like Johnny Cash. I like, bar none, the Red Hot Chili Peppers in several different incarnations. Because, there was the Hillel Slovak era. There was even, who was before that? I can't remember their first guitarist, but that era was kind of awkward. But John Frusciante is probably my all-time favorite musician. Let alone, he does things in every spectrum of music as well. And now they have Klinghoffer. I like music. I can listen to a jazz album. I can listen to anything really. Hip hop in its heyday was the Definitive Jux. It was helmed by LP. You had Aesop Rock, you had Cannibal Ox, you had Kamuteo, and then there was also running concurrent, and they're still around to this day, as Rhymesayers. But back then, you had Atmosphere, which was Slug, and I think Beyond was on their first album, or Spawn. I think both of them, but they both have different names now. Maybe Musab or something like that. I can't remember. Idea, rest in peace, was a big influence on me. And the old school classic, Big L, hip hop wise, lyrically, was huge to me. The song Ebonics changed my life. Changed my scope on rap and how I approach the lyricism. It made you understand that there's intelligence that lies beneath the way we talk. Some of us have slang. All of us have slang. Let's just put it out there. Perfect vernacular does not exist because we're all speaking in our own way. But that was the first rapper to me that spoke intelligence through his own way of speaking. And to me, that was huge. There's really no end to what I could say influenced me over the years. But if you had to nail it down to the core artists in my life, it'd be the LPs, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Sublimes, the Bradley Knowles, all that stuff. Basically any music that was true. Nothing like what comes out today on the radio. Not trying to hate, but I really don't feel any of it. I don't think that it even holds any weight to what used to be. What most of us know when we were younger. So. I don't know. It should. And there definitely is music out there that lyrically speaks some compelling arts. Some arguments, some issues. I think the thing with what's most popular today, let me rephrase that. What the problem is what's most popular today doesn't hold any weight lyrically. Now, there's been a shift in that lately, and I mean, this is my opinion, obviously, but there's artists out there like Run the Jewels. You hear Killer Mike or LP talk, and those guys are saying something. You listen to certain bands out there, and it's definitely lyrically, it's coming at you. 07, if you haven't heard 07, go and listen to them. Where they have lyrics, because they're primarily instrumental, but where they have lyrics, it's saying something. Now, when it comes to artists on the radio or in the mainstream, the ones that have the most fame, and I don't need to name names, you all know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, well, then you're probably listening to those artists. No, their lyrical value, it's all the same thing, reworded and respat so that you could feel like you're hearing a good song. It's all about hits these days won't carry the weight in 30, 40 years the way maybe a Queen hit from the 70s, 80s would. Not to say that those bands didn't have their dark moments, but their music is pretty much always going. But no, I like to think that there's artists out there, you know, on a bigger scale than myself or any of my peers, you know, who have fans of a higher magnitude. I think that they're out there, you know, trying to make a stand against those cookie cutter songs. Those songs that just, those artists that just are all the same, just rewrapped and prepackaged in a different way. I wish that it was more in the favor of that, but the truth is these days it's not. So artists out here, you know, like myself, who are doing it, who are making music with lyrical value content, good music, and even experimental music. Not everything's for everyone, and nothing like that ever will be, but I really think that a change is happening. I think the music today that was popular 5 years ago, it was a little bit more abundant. So that's a good thing. It's not as popular as it was, but it's still being really dumbed down for the masses. And I hope it stops. I really do. So yeah, I want to thank everyone out there for watching. If you took the time to watch the whole thing, big ups to the Guillotine CARTEL, and let me chop it up. If you get a chance, go to my YouTube channel. Just search Blest Theory, because I don't even know what it is. But watch the video clump if you get a chance. Shout out to everyone out there doing their thing. You know, Southwestern hip hop's coming up, and I'm really glad about it. And I'm just glad to be here. So big ups and thank y'all. Y'all peace out.